because a couple of million people are impacted on that. Thank you very much.
I have some thoughts on that, but Mathias, do you want to?
It depends how you see the beer and the European Union. You may think that the beer is very... the bear, I'm so sorry. If you see the Russia or the European Union as being very strong, are they? Are they really strong? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. European Union, for the least, is confronted with, in the 10 next years, between an existent or non-existent question. So this is probably more threatening, than actually other elements. And Russia is very, very fragile itself. Will it not collapse? I think we tend to think that society, and especially the society in which we live, is extremely strong and will survive. This is such an illusion. We have lived in the last 60 years in some sort of extraordinary continuity. This is not what history teaches. Things are on the change very quickly, and they will happen very quickly, I think.
Yes, and I heard you speak on this in Geneva when we last met, and I was shocked by what you said, but also it made me think and realize you were right. So we think liberal democracy, for example, is here to stay, but it can be swept away much faster than we think, with fascist governments coming in and simply abolishing the patterns of democracy that we know at the present and take just for granted. I think we are living in much more dangerous times, and I was trying to wake up the society in Germany this morning in what I said. I had some pushback, but it was great to have the discussion. But it is alarming. We have a peace initiative in Ukraine. You may know about that. At the moment, it's focused around the environmental damage caused by the area, the 300-mile front line in the Donetsk region, where you have large amounts, for example, of nuclear-contaminated water swirling around under cities and toxic waste, which is not being properly disposed of by the chemical factories, all kinds of problems. And yet there is no ability to create a cordon sanitaire to allow the companies to come in and clear up the mess and to restore the water supply and things like that. There is a common interest between Russia and the Ukrainian government for that to be done. But how do you do that when people don't trust each other, when each side is afraid that the other side is using it as a political tool for some other political purpose, to justify long-term Russian involvement in the region or whatever it may be? So how do you build trust between nations in that kind of environment? So we believe that this kind of peace building depends on a process of dialogue. You need to create an environment where you get it's called track 2 diplomacy, that's the formal language for this, where you bring the sides together to discuss the issues with proper backed research and so on over a period of time to build up the relationships among the players to the point where they start to trust each other, and you rely on them reporting back to their principals to discuss what is being said and to identify the shared areas of vision, which then allow the possibility of the political leaders to come together for formal talks. And we used that successfully in South Africa and also in Sudan in previous decades. So it's a very delicate situation at the moment, but we're not without hope that some of that can be resolved. But meanwhile, it remains difficult. I think I have to go.
As I'm responsible that you catch your flight on time,
Thank you.
I would like to thank you, both of you. So, Dr. Matthias Nebel, thanks for joining us here and shared that thought. And thanks also to you, Michael. It was an incredible input over the days here. That was great. Yes, of course. So have a good night, all of you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll meet again tomorrow morning at 11:15 here with the next session. Bye-bye.